Hey guys, what's up? Shin0555 here, back with another episode of Textbox, where gamers talk about games. And today I am here with my good friend Lorp Survival Horror. Say hi, Lorp.
Hi, what's up, everyone?
Yes.
I don't know what to say.
Yeah, we fucked up the beginning. God damn it.
No, it's all in the plan.
No, I'm here with Lorp, and as you can see from the title of the video, we are going to be talking about remakes, remasters, all that stuff. So, we were actually talking about this before we start the video, but Lorp, you just recently finished the Silent Hill 2 remake. What are some of your thoughts on that one?
I liked it very much. Just, like, my biggest criticism would probably be the length, because it's like I think I took around 18 hours, and for the original I needed like 8.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was pretty quick. And I think like the original was a bit short, like not too short or anything, but on the shorter side. But the remake was a bit too long, and I still enjoyed all my time with it, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna enjoy it just as much on like my next playthrough. But yeah, I will see. I haven't started it yet, but overall, like, I would have liked like a middle ground of like maybe 12 hours or 14 hours. I think that would have been perfect.
Yeah, well, again, I haven't played the remake myself yet, but was at any point did you feel like they added stuff just to kind of pad the game out, or was it just they just made like longer sections?
It's like for like firstly there are a lot more rooms that you can enter, and just a lot of new rooms. Well, like most of the time there are just some items, but nothing relevant like key items, because the key items are usually at the same place or at a similar place like in the original. So like sometimes I felt like it was kind of pointless to go into these rooms, but sometimes there were also like new puzzles and just added sections. For example, like in the original, before you enter the apartments, you have like 20 minutes of running around the streets. And that's expanded a lot. Like you go to different stores and pick up different items. Like, like there's just a lot more stuff. Like sometimes I felt like it was kind of pointless, but most of the time that were just additional puzzles.
Okay, so because I was like thinking like, did they pad it out with I don't know, just like sections where you're just playing it and you're like, this didn't need to be in the game. Like this is way too long. This is just dumb. But it sounds like they kind of just added like so much more like exploring room. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's been forever since I played Silent Hill 2, so it's hard to say, like exactly how long, but I do remember that was kind of like a staple in the Silent Hill games, where like you'd check like every door, and like you'd have like a whole, like the apartment, you'd have a whole way of doors, and like only 2 are like you can go in.
Oh, that's similar in the remake.
Yeah,
like not as bad, but similar.
Yeah, no, I always like joked around with my friends. We were back in the day, we were just like, you know, you're in Silent Hill before like the fog and stuff gets in, where you're like trying to open doors and it's like, ah, damn, this one's stuck. Then you go to like the next, this one's stuck. Oh shit.
Like if I'm playing like Silent Hill 2 or Silent Hill, like especially Silent Hill 1 and 3, like if I have a door that can't be opened, I'm really glad.
Yeah.
Because it's just one less room that can be terrifying.
Yeah. And yeah, no, it's always funny. And it's like, okay, this is just like a side tangent, but I think it's in Silent Hill 1 where they have like, when you try to check a door, it doesn't say it's locked. It says the door is shut tight. And it's just like,
I think I remember that.
Yeah, and it's just like, how the hell do you shut a door tight where it doesn't open again? Like, how is that possible? Because, like, he's definitely saying it's not locked, so I'm assuming, like, the handle goes, like, up and down. But it's just, like, when you try to push or pull on it, it doesn't budge. So it's like, how the hell did you do that?
I have no idea. Maybe, like, something that's blocking it from the other side. I have no idea.
You know, I always thought that was funny.
Like, I think, like, I'm not sure if that was already in the first game, but later they also got, like, a new text of the door being locked from the other side.
Yeah.
Instead of just being locked or broken. It's just all very funny. Like, I love that aspect about the games.
And,
like, in general...
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, like, in general, these small thoughts of the characters that you get when you examine like something is really cool. Like for example, like, do you know this meme with it's bread?
Oh yeah, I think so. Where
from
you
Silent Hill 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we don't have that today anymore.
Oh.
Unfortunately.
God damn it. But I think that's kind of the thing about, like, remakes versus, like, remasters. Well, I guess a good like, talking point would be, like, the difference between, like, a remake and a remaster. So I think if, like, people don't know, a remaster is where you basically take, like, the normal game that was originally made and you just kind of, like, upscale the graphics, maybe do a little bit of, like, tweaks to make the game, like, run better. A good example is the, like, Final Fantasy games on Android. They basically just took the PlayStation games of Final Fantasy, like, 7, 8, 9, and they just upscaled the graphics, put in, like, some, like, quality of life improvements. That's usually what a remaster is, but when we're talking about, like, the Silent Hill 2 remake, that's where they, like, completely remake a game from the ground up, where they start, like, fresh and new, making a completely different engine, and basically just make a new game kind of following what the original game was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I forgot to say that in the beginning. So I just threw that in there. But another remake we could talk about is did you play the RE4 remake?
Yeah.
Oh, you did. I still haven't played that one. But I actually realized I have never beat Resident Evil 4 on my own. I've never like completely finished. See, like, I watched my friend's brother when I was younger, when that game first came out. I watched them play through the whole thing, so I know everything that happens. But then when I got the game on the Wii, I started playing it, and I got, like, I got pretty far. I got to, like, I think the regenerator room, and then I guess I stopped playing. So I just, and then when I look back at my file, like, I never beat Resident Evil 4.
But did you know? Because you played it recently, or no?
Yeah, I never finished it. I was just playing it for, like, the background footage.
Okay.
Yeah, and plus I did a cheat code to get, like, infinite ammo on, like, a new save file. And I just had, like, the Magnum, and I was just going crazy.
Yeah, I've seen the gameplay in the video.
Oh, it's so much fun.
But, like, now that we are talking about it, I only finished the, like, Resident Evil for the original once.
Yeah.
Like, I played it a second, like, I actually started it, like, 2 or 3 times again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, once I got to the island, I think. But, like, I don't like the island. I'm not sure if I talked about this before.
Mm-hmm.
But I really don't like the island. Like, actually, I like nothing about it. Like, the regenerators are cool.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's, like, 2 boss fights or so that are cool. But I hate, like, the enemies with guns. Like, it's the same shit in Resident Evil 5. They don't fit at all in in these Resident Evil games. Like, they're just like a side fact, but in the Resident Evil 4 remake, they don't have guns anymore. And it's so much better just because of that.
Yeah.
So, I really hate it.
So would you say the remake is better than the original for Resident Evil 4?
Yeah, for me, definitely. Like, of course, it's always hard to say that something is better, but I would prefer the remake over the original on any day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
No.
I like the original Resident Evil 4, especially the village part. Like, that's great, and that's probably better than the remake.
Mm,
But the rest of the remake is just so much better, and you get a bit more horror, you get way more exploration, like more puzzles, and like more of this classic survival horror gameplay. Like, of course, it remains Resident Evil 4 as an action horror game, but you just get a few more aspects of these previous games in it,
mm.
and I prefer it.
Oh, well,
And like in general, they do so
yeah.
many things right.
Yeah, no, like again, I still haven't played it, but the fact that I heard people love it, I was impressed by it because a lot of people like really do like the RE4 remake. They say it's like really good, and
Yeah,
I was impressed by that because like RE4 original is kind of like the what Godfather is to like movies. It kind of is to like video games. It's like it's
yeah,
like this one game that like generally most people just like this is like a gold standard. It was just like a one of those rare perfectly made games, and like the problem with like remaking stuff, especially like a classic like that, is like it is very easy to like screw it up. And the fact
yeah.
that they like didn't screw it up and people like that game does say a lot about the remake and how good it is.
Uh, I think like in terms of remaking a game, the Resident Evil 4 remake is probably Capcom's best effort. Like the
Yeah.
Resident Evil 1 remake is very, very good and very, very close, but there's still like a few things that might be worse. Like the enemy balancing is a bit worse, the start is a bit worse, and stuff like that.
Mm.
Like the Resident Evil 2 remake, of course, cut a few things. Like the AB scenario is basically gone.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I have
They-
to talk about the Resident Evil 3 remake, and then the Resident Evil 4 remake just does all these things right.
Yeah. Yeah, again, I have it. I bought the RE4 remake. I still haven't played it yet, but yeah, no, it is definitely a game I really do want to get it. I want to beat the original one first. And it's like with all these like remakes, I like I'm having that like feeling of like I want to play through the original and then immediately play through the remake so I can like compare the two, you know? Where it's like fresh
Yeah,
in my mind. But like I did that with the Resident Evil 2. And I ended up hating the remake.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm not.
do you
I'm not.
still
What?
do you still hate it, or have you changed your mind?
No, I still don't like it because like, and again, I haven't. Because like it's not like nostalgia talking. Because we were like, oh, what? Because I never played the original Resident Evil games. I watched my friend's brother play through all of them, so I like physically never played them. So I played through Resident Evil 2 on my Vita, the PlayStation 1 version, of course, and I absolutely loved it. I was like addicted to it. It was so good. Then I finished that. Then I played Resident Evil 2 for Backlog Battle on my stream, and I liked it a lot at first. I was like, this is amazing. This is super cool. But as the game went on, I just started hating it. It's like I hated the combat. I hated how the zombies like didn't die. Like they could only die if you got like a critical headshot. And
Nah, they also die if you shoot them like 12 or 14 times.
well, like I think they get back up after a while.
But
It's like
yeah,
you need that critical
no,
headshot for them to die. So it's like I ended up like not fighting any zombies, like because like I just got sick of it. I just like
yeah.
walked around them, and then and yeah, it's just like I just like after going from like the PlayStation 1 original to the remake, I was just like, yeah, I don't like the remake. I don't like this at all. And like it was funny because like I was getting like fed up with the game at the end of like Leon's story, and I was like, I stopped and I was like, I could probably stop here and not play like the Claire part. And I was like, no, I'm streaming. It's my like first game I'm streaming on Backlog Battle, so it's like I'll do the Claire part. And for the entire like Claire part, I was just like sour. It's like, oh, I got half the game to go again. Oh.
Oh, but I love the Resident Evil 2 remake.
Yeah, like there were some aspects
Well,
of it that I really like the environments and like being able to like go
y-
through the police station in like HD and like fully
yeah,
3D. That was super cool. But again,
so
comparing it
that's
to
also one of my favorite parts.
yeah, it's just so cool. It's
Yeah,
so cool to get these like nice like from the original like these pre set camera angles that
Y-
are like beautiful and nice, but like actually being able to like explore that area was like this is so cool.
it actually reminds me like there's a fixed camera angle mod for the Resident Evil 2 remake
Oh yeah.
that I haven't played it yet, but I want to do it sometimes in the near future. Like I'm actually thinking of doing that on stream as well.
Oh, nice.
So that might actually be more to your liking.
Yeah, maybe.
Um, I will tell you. Oh,
Yeah.
but
Now, is that a
yeah.
mod or is that like in the actual game?
No, it's a mod.
Oh, it's a mod, yeah. But that's cool. That's cool though.
Yeah. No, but like I kind of see your point with the like, were just the enemies or more things that you disliked?
The enemies were a big one because they just like I just got like when I got into like a combat scenario at the beginning, again, it was scary, it was like fun, I was like, oh, but then like as I got like halfway through the game, I was just getting more annoyed by seeing like zombies and enemies because I was like, okay, I gotta go get the fucking spade key, I gotta go like here, I gotta put the C4 in the thing and like blow up that like attic place, and it's just like it just got annoying where it's just like I just wanted to stop fighting and just like avoid enemies as much as possible. But I think if you were able to, like, if they treat it like RE4, where, like, once you kill a zombie, it's, like, dead, and if you get, like, a headshot, they're dead, instead of getting that, like, critical headshot to, like, take them out completely, I probably would have liked it better.
Oh, but they definitely stay that, like, they just take a lot of bullets. Like, I think, like, on average, it's probably around, like, 12 handgun bullets. Like I'm not sure on which difficulty, but that's, like, I always felt like it was something around that number.
Yeah, like a full
So
clip.
you might, like they lie on the ground before, but then they stay up, so maybe you just didn't put enough into them. But
maybe. I mean, like,
yeah.
they'd, like, fall down, and then, like...
Yeah. I see your point. I think that's also a criticism of a lot of people. And I think it was just hard for Capcom to make the zombies scary again, because like we are so used to them.
Because I remember...
Like
I remember hating the third floor in the like the police station where it's just like this long hallway. It's like you can go into the clock tower, and it's just like this. It's basically just like this hallway with like a railing to the side where you see like the front room, like the room you start in, and like you go around, and there's like always two zombies up there, and it's so fucking narrow that you can't avoid them. And I remember, I swear to God, I think I killed them like 18 times. Like, every time I had to go through there, I had to kill these two goddamn zombies again. And it's just like, I think eventually I got like a critical headshot where like it splurts. Like their head like explodes. And then I think I just had to deal with one of them.
So you,
I hate this.
I think usually I just shoot them in the leg.
Yeah.
Because then they get stunned for a moment and then you can just run past.
I actually liked the RE3 combat a little bit more because you did have that like dodge button. I think that was like sorely missing in the RE2 remake.
I think like dodge is always difficult because it makes the game potentially a lot easier. Like the Silent Hill 2 remake has a dodge as well. And if you do it right, you can just dodge everything without ever getting hit.
Yeah.
Like that's just a short trip into Silent Hill 2 remake again, but like they're like enemies and they can like stun lock you a little bit. And when I went through there, I just spammed the dodge button and then I just got through there without any problems. So that can be
Yeah.
like that's too easy can be
Well, I liked
an
it
issue
in,
if you do that.
like RE3. Like I think the window was pretty good because like you really had to pay attention to when you needed to dodge.
Yeah,
To get
I
that,
actually
like,
never managed to
swoosh.
do that properly.
Yeah. So I think.
I'm horrible at Resident Evil 3 Remake dodging.
Oh yeah. It's fun when you get it. Like when you get it. There was one time I think I was running away from like Nemesis, like, and I think there was like a zombie, a dog, and like Nemesis. And like I dodged a zombie.
I think
I
I
got
know
the
what
perfect,
you mean.
Yeah, I got like the perfect dodge on like the zombie. Then the dog jumped at me. I got a perfect dodge on that. And then like Nemesis did like the tentacle thing, and like I dodged that one. I'm like, I am too fucking good. I felt so
Let's
good
go.
about myself.
Yeah, that's like the dodging in Resident Evil 3 is very satisfying if you do it right.
Yeah.
That's true. Though, like I said, I never managed to do it properly.
Yeah.
But I think like I played through the game once normally. Then I got the infinite rocket launcher.
Nice.
And then I just did more for achievements, and then I never played it again till today.
Ah. Yeah, no, I think, again...
Oh, no, that's not right. I played it last year.
Oh, there you go.
But I still suck at dodging.
Who needs to dodge when you have an infinite rocket launcher?
I didn't use that the last time.
Oh, no.
But yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm one of those weird people where, like, I actually enjoyed the remake of 3 more than 2. And, but I still prefer the PlayStation 1 originals over the remakes. I had way more fun playing those.
I'm just... Like, I appreciate the Resident Evil 2 remake and the original both. For different things. Like, I love the atmosphere and combat in the remake. But I prefer, like, the story in the original. So, but like for me, it's like the Resident Evil 2 remake is one of my favorite Resident Evil games. Then I like Resident Evil 2, but I always felt like it was a bit too linear. Because like, I don't know, it's always straightforward for me, and the puzzles are pretty easy. And then the original Resident Evil 3. Oh no, I actually prefer that over over the original Resident Evil 2.
Yeah.
And then like the i3 remake.
Yeah, no, like, okay, this actually begs a good question. Do you think the remakes are good substitutes for the originals?
Nah, no.
No?
Like that, like I'm... Like always when this question comes up, I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Like I think they are very good, but no substitute.
Because like, again, and I think this is a problem with like big game companies, is like video game like preservation and things like that. And like the big companies don't seem to care about it. And I could see in like a suit, like a corporate business suit person who's behind like Sony or, you know, Xbox, like these like suits that don't really play games, they'll look at it as like, well, you have the Resident Evil 2 remake, so we don't need to put the PlayStation 1 game up on our PS5 anymore. Like you have the remake. So, and it's just like, I think that's kind of like a dangerous part about having all these like remakes and like even like the remasters to some extent. Because I feel that, again, a lot of like the corporate side is just like, well, you do have these games, but it's just like, no, you don't realize like the remakes and the originals, especially when you do like a remake like that, it's just like, no, we need to keep the like original games alive and accessible in some way. They're not like replacements, because they are two completely different games at the end of the day.
Like in the case of Resident Evil, I don't think it's a problem with the quality, except for maybe Resident Evil 3, because the remakes are very good, but they are a completely different experience. Like,
Yeah.
even Resident Evil 1 is worth playing over the remake just because it's so different. And for me, it's not an issue because I know how I get my games. Like, doesn't matter if it's emulation or some old PC ports or whatever. Like, I'm gonna play them if I want to.
Yeah.
But of course, like, people on console or just people who don't want to or just want their games on Steam or something won't play them because of that reason.
Yeah, no, like that's kind of like the part like I'm worried about, because like if this goes on long enough, because like we're in like a time in like the game industry where like remakes and like remasters are some of the biggest hitting games that are coming out. Like, in fact, I'd even say they're bigger than new releases now. And I think that will be a problem in the future, cause like, one, I think we're gonna like run out of games to remake eventually, like really good games to remake.
We can just
that, like,
remake them again.
yeah, exactly. Like, look at it like Horizon Zero Dawn. It's like that game, like I think came out on the PS4 originally.
Yeah,
and
late
made,
PS4.
like, an updated version, and then they remade it for the PlayStation 5, and now they're remaking it again for like the PlayStation 5 Plus and like Steam, and it's just like, why? Like, what the fuck? This game's not even old.
But that are remasters and not remakes. I think, but I still don't get it.
Yeah, no, and
like,
same thing with, like,
agree
The
with
Last
you.
of Us. It's just like you had The Last of Us, and they had the remaster on the PlayStation 4, and now they're remaking it again, like the first Last of Us again. And it's just like make a part 3. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Like, every PlayStation gets its own The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Which is always the same game.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, again, it's just like it doesn't need a remake or a remaster, because like it's easily accessible. It's in this generation of games, so like it makes no sense. And like you're putting, but the problem is like it's gonna sell really well, and I think like game companies now know like it's not worth starting a new game, like making a sequel or starting a new IP, because it's cheaper and easier to make a game that you already have and then just remake it in some way or remaster it or whatever, have like all like the story and things already done for you, and then they just like remake it again.
I don't think that we are just quite there where that's a proper issue, because like a lot of remakes like either, like, for example, the Dead Space remake was like a one-time thing, and there's no way we would have gotten a Dead Space 4 in place of the remake. So like, I'm still like, better have a remake than nothing at all. And like, for example, like Capcom just replaced their spin-offs with remakes.
Yeah.
And I'm also kind of fine with that, because like the spin-offs are always enjoyable, but also nothing crazy. And I probably enjoy the remakes more than I did the spin-offs. So right now I'm still very much fine with the remakes.
Well, like, I think it. Well, I just think it's funny because I remember like back in the day, like in like the early 2000s, remakes didn't sell well. That's why like we didn't have a lot of them. Because like I remember Metal Gear Solid, they have the PlayStation 1 version of it, and then they remade it for the GameCube, and they called it Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes, and that game did not sell well at all, even though it was a remake of Metal Gear Solid. People just really weren't interested in it. And same thing with like Skies of Arcadia. They did a remaster of that. That came out on Dreamcast, and then they did a remaster on GameCube again. And again, it didn't sell very well. Like, there was not a lot of interest in the game. And now it's like the complete opposite, where it's just like, it seems like the only interest in like these big AAA games are remakes now.
Mm, yeah, I think it's difficult. Like we still get plenty of good original games. Like for example, last year Baldur's Gate 3 released, which was gigantic.
Mm.
I don't know, but like very big. And like I think it's like I said, it's very much difficult. Like I definitely feel like we get more like remakes to reboot series. Like for example, now Silent Hill or Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
In general, we get like less original new AAA games. Like that, when you compare to like the PS1 era, where where we got so many new games, and now I don't know which were the last 5 big AAA releases.
Yeah, like
I have no idea.
no, like I'm really struggling to, cause like all the big games I can think of right now are like, oh, actually, this actually brings up a good point, and kind of what I'm saying is I don't think you don't play Final Fantasy, right?
No.
No, but you know about like the Final Fantasy VII remake. That
Yeah, of course.
that's super big. So what's funny is like I like Final Fantasy. I follow like the websites on like X and stuff like that. So I follow like the Final Fantasy news, and like I'm in like the fan pages and things like that. And what I find interesting is the fact that there are more people talking about the Final Fantasy VII remake and then like the second part called Rebirth than there are people talking about the newest Final Fantasy game, Final Fantasy 16. And it's just like, I find it like kind of telling that like people are more interested in the remake of 7 than they are in the like completely brand new Final Fantasy 16. And it's just like, realistically, I feel like I should be hearing a lot more about 16, but like there's like no one talking about it anymore. Like it came out on PS5, people played it, people liked it, and it just recently came out on Steam. And after it came out on Steam, I'm like, okay, everybody's gonna be playing this game, everybody's gonna be talking about it, but hardly anyone is, and they just talk about the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Yeah, like you have played it. Like is Final Fantasy 16 like equally as good as the Final Fantasy 7 remake, or what would you say about that?
I haven't played it, but it's the first like mainline title to be like action oriented. But like it looked good, like the trailers look good, the combat looks good, and I saw like the reviews, and the reviews seemed to like, no, this is a good game. Again, I haven't played it yet. I'm planning on playing it over Christmas break. When I actually have like time to play it, because I'm actually really excited to get to that one. But yeah, no, I just find it like really weird, because like it's like it seems like all of the focus is on the remakes, where it's just like you get like new IPs coming out and no one like cares about them. And a similar situation happened with the new Princess Peach game, like the one where she gets like dresses up in like costumes and does stuff like that. I remember that game came out and then it was completely overshadowed by the Paper Mario remake, the Thousand Year Door remake on Switch. Completely blew that game out of the water. Like no one even like remembers there was a Princess Peach game.
To be honest, I haven't even heard of that game.
See?
Like I heard once of the remake.
Yeah.
But never, like I'm not that big into Nintendo games anymore. But I like I still know about them. But I never heard of the Princess Peach game.
Yeah, no, it's like it almost got like forgotten by time, because the Paper Mario Thousand Year Door remake came out like a little while like after that, and everyone was like, that game's amazing, and it's like no one, I have not heard a single soul talk about that Princess Peach game ever again.
And like I'm not sure, but like the Silent Hill 2 remake reminds me of like maybe the remakes firstly the remakes are very good. Like I feel like the majority of the remakes we have gotten in like the last 5 years were at least good or like 9 out of 10. And of course, they are also like very controversial because you have like people you can compare the remake to the original. Like if you made a YouTube video, you could make a review of the remake, and then you could make another video about the game comparing it to the original. So maybe it's just like that you have like double like the content to talk about compared to new original games.
Yeah, it could be true. And then, but I also think it's kind of like, I think subconsciously gamers have lost faith in like the new AAA. And I think people get more excited about a remake because it's a game that I know, like Silent Hill 2, for example. It's like a game I know that is good. And now they're just making it again, just modern. That's more exciting than me taking a chance on this completely new game, because the newer games that are coming out now, especially from like the AAA market side, really aren't good. Like you look at like Concord or Gotham Knights or like, and it's just like these should be new exciting games that I'm like really excited to play, but it's just like you keep making them shit. Like the Suicide Squad game. Like
I thought of that too right now.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, they're all shit. So I think like subconsciously as gamers, we're just like, yeah, I'd rather you remake something I know is good because I don't trust you anymore making new ideas.
I don't like that's a very true point. Like as a horror fan, I always think about the Callisto Protocol when I think about disappointed AAA horror games.
Yeah.
And that's like the developers of the Silent Hill 2 remake have announced a new horror game IP for next year.
Oh. Is it gonna be Silent Hill related or just completely new?
No, a complete new own IP, like set in space. So I talked about it before that I like sci-fi space horror. So yes, I'm looking forward to it. Too. Dinosaurs in space.
Yes.
Almost like the last time we had that, it went bad.
Yeah.
No, but I'm looking forward to it. But if that's gonna be bad, that will be just another step where I'll lose like confidence in developers to make new IPs.
Yeah, no, it's
that one flops as well.
Yeah, and it's just like, again, I have less confidence in it because it's new, where if they were just like, well, this is a remake of a game, it's like I have something like go off of, and it's really weird. It's like, it's almost like I heard someone like bring up this point, it might have been like the Gaming Brit brought up this point, but it's almost like these people need to like remake the games to learn how to make games again. Like I think he used the example of like the Crash Insane trilogy, where you had the game company that made that, they made a remake of Crash 1, Crash 2, and Crash 3, and then they made a new Crash game, which that one didn't sell as good as the Insane trilogy, which is interesting. But then they made Crash 4, It's About Time. And basically what they were saying was we had to learn how to make a Crash game by remaking the Crash games. So we used what we learned there to make a brand new one. And it's almost like the gaming industry is going to need to go through a cycle of like remaking games from the past to remember like, oh, this is what a good video game is.
That's an interesting point.
Cause like what's
I kind of see the point here, yeah.
Cause like what's scary is actually I went to art school for a year, and I went like specifically for like game art and design. So I'd be like working on like video games, and the people that I went to school with were all in like game art. So these are the people that are now working in the industry. And what scared the shit out of me was how little games they've played. Like, it was super common that a lot of these people that are working on games now never played Resident Evil 4, never played Super Mario 64, never played a Sonic the Hedgehog or a Crash Bandicoot game. And then it makes me wonder, it's like you're getting all these people that are like making games now. Do they not know what a good video game is?
That's very interesting.
Yeah, no, I was just like shocked about it, because I was assuming I was going to like Game Art, I was gonna be with a bunch of like gamers.
Yeah.
But it's just like, no, it's like they played like, I don't know, like Half-Life and BioShock, but that was about it. I'm like, why do you
that's
want to
a bit
make
like
games? like
that's a bit like making graphics designs while being blind.
Yeah. So
Like,
again,
you have no idea what looks good.
and it's just like, so does that explain a lot of like these new IPs that are coming out, and they're just like making games, and just like you're having people making games without knowing like, or having the reference of like what good games should be, and they're trying to make something and they're making like a bunch of mistakes. And I think there's like, is that the reason why like platformers died, like 3D platformers? Because like there's like no good ones except like Mario and Sonic. The rest are all just like dead.
So like the last Mario 3D mainline game or whatever was in 2017, so
yeah, it's insane.
they are taking their time as well.
Yeah, and it's just like, I don't know if you ever played the game Yooka-Laylee.
No, I haven't played it, but yeah, I've seen
you
gameplay of it.
Yeah, so it's basically like
I think I actually own it.
Oh, you do?
But yeah.
Yeah, it's like
I think on like the free games on Epic, they had it like once.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, please go on.
Yeah, well, anyway, it was made by like the team that made Banjo-Kazooie, which is a gem of a platformer. And then they made Yooka-Laylee, and playing Yooka-Laylee, I was super excited. I was so ready for like a good Banjo-style 3D platformer. And the game is so weird, because like technically on paper, it does the same stuff that Banjo does. It is just way worse. It's like they didn't understand what made a good platforming game. They just like, it's like they looked at Banjo and then tried to like copy it without understanding what actually like made it good. They just kind of like very crudely like try to copy how to make a 3D platform, and it just feels soulless. It feels like it just feels awful compared to like a game 20 years prior to it. And it's like, is it because the people making the game haven't played a good 3D platformer, so they don't know when it's just like, this jumping feels terrible, this like moving around feels terrible?
To like the movement feeling terrible also reminds me a bit of like in general most modern games, like 20 years ago you basically had roboter that you controlled, like if you push forward they would go forward. And now you always like there's always a bit of extra weight to the character. Like for example, like you have played GTA, right?
Yeah.
And I think like in especially Rockstar games, it's like terrible if you just run and everything feels a bit delayed because of like they try to make the character move more realistic, so you've got like animations that take up longer than you pressing the button. I don't know if that's a part as well of just games feeling a bit worse because it's just not as direct.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, maybe that's the case for 3D platformer too.
Yeah, it's just
would
like,
you say it's not a problem?
Yeah, well, I think like a lot of I think generally overall, games coming out today perform and play a lot better than they did like 10 years ago. But like, I think it's more of like, the gaming industry has come more like homogenized, where all the games are being made in like either Unreal or like Unity, and like there's like a set kind of like a preset like foundation that they made. Because back in the day, like in the early 2000s, when they were making games, they were making them on their own specific like game engines. Like they had to build the game engine from the ground up. So that's why a lot of these games felt like distinctly different. Now, since all the games are being made in like the same engines, a lot of like the framework's kind of the same. So I think like overall, like games playing, they feel better, but they also feel a lot more samey.
Yeah. I'm not sure if this is just the best we've got. So, like, I don't know, like, how would you make the movement different?
Oh, and
but like of course, yeah.
Like in ukulele.
Yeah, of course, yeah. That's obvious.
Yeah, well, it's just like the jumping, like it just all like when you play Banjo-Kazooie, there's like a sense of like joy and like wonderment in like everything, even like the jumping and the walking. Somehow in ukulele, it feels like stiff and robotic and joyless. And it's like there's probably some very like finesse in either like the animations or like the weight or the way the character like stops or moves. Like there was something missing that was in like the Nintendo 64 games that was missing in ukulele, and it's super hard to put your finger on, but it just feels wrong when you play it, you know?
Well, like I've seen gameplay of the game some like years ago, but I kind of get what you mean. Like I haven't played it obviously, but I think it looks like more sterile and like more polished, kinda, but also like a bit like how would you say it? How would you describe it? A bit like maybe a robot, while the N64 games, like, they have like a very cool, distinct look to them. And although it's not realistic, it's like a bit cartoony, but also like it has a lot of charm and is also like, yeah, it's very hard to describe, but
it's like I can't put it.
They
into
have more
words,
character.
But
kinda.
If I were to sit you down and make you play banjo and then make you play ukulele, you would immediately know, oh, I get what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like just from seeing the gameplay, I kind of get what you mean. Maybe it's just too cleaned up or something.
Yeah, Yeah, I can't really put. It might be because there's too many polygons. Because basically the way the Nintendo 64 worked was it was very like square. Even though they had like curves and stuff, there would be like invisible square. Because they had to make the game with like basically like square blocks. So like the collision was like easier. Now when you make games, the collision is actually on, like you can have like diagonal collision and like stuff like that. I think that might be it, because it's definitely more like slippery. And it might be because like the collision's actually on like the environment that's kind of like sloped and like rocky and like things like that. So it's like it might benefit more for being like square. But like But again, I think this might be a reason why like people like remakes and remasters now rather than like new IPs, is because again, I feel more confident buying a game I know was good than taking a chance on a new game, like a completely brand new one.
Yeah, that's probably the reason. Also, or it's just because the quality of like these new games is just often not good. Like for me, like the big counter example would be Baldur's Gate 3, which was a major success, even though it's basically a new IP. Like, of course, there were 1 and 2, but these games are over 20 years old at this point. So
But,
you,
like-
so you can still get success with new games. But yeah,
Yeah, but again,
for
it's
some
like,
reason many aren't
Baldur's
good.
Gate 3, it's just like, that should be, like, again, like, the new games should be the exciting games. Like, when people, like, when these companies have, like, their, like, E3s and they show off the games, it seems like the only games people really get excited for are the remakes now. That's where, like, they put, like, the remakes of the games at the end of the trailers, because those are, like, the showstoppers for their, like, thing, and it's just
Yeah.
like, that should be a new game. That should just be like this new game that, like, we have no idea, looks amazing, and it's just like, no, it's usually like a remake now, and it's just like, yeah, it's just like, I really, like, lost confidence in the modern gaming. Again, there's like Baldur's Gate 3, and there's a Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. That's a completely new IP that I think is phenomenal. But these aren't coming from AAA studios, though.
Yeah. Like in general, I think most AAA studios right now are just doing live action games
Yeah.
or live service games.
Yeah, no, it sucks. It's just like,
Yeah. Was also thinking about Resident Evil again right now because, like, especially like this. I know I don't want to spoil you. You haven't played Village yet, right?
no, I still haven't played it.
Yeah, but like, in my opinion, the story of Village was a bit disappointing compared to what I've seen before the game released, like in trailers and stuff like that. And with remakes, you just know the whole story already, so like it's just harder to get disappointed if you already know what's gonna happen. Like maybe you don't like certain changes, but as long as the overall story remains the same, you are gonna be fine with it.
Yeah, I think
So like maybe it's that as well.
also what's exciting about remakes is I remember when the Final Fantasy VII remake was, like, announced and we were waiting for it to come out. Me and my friend would talk about it, and we're like, we just, like, remember all, like, the parts of Final Fantasy VII, and we're just like, oh my god, they're gonna remake. I wonder what that's gonna look like. And I wonder, and it was really interesting because, like, Final Fantasy VII, like the original game, it looks like shit. Like, it is rough. It is early, like, 3D. So when we're talking about, like, stuff like, oh, I wonder what the Shinra building's gonna look like. I wonder what, like, the train section's gonna look like. It's like, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you kind of like, it's like with new IPs, you have the excitement of, or the possible excitement of new areas. But like for example, before I played the Silent Hill 2 remake, I knew like the hospital is gonna be there.
Yeah.
So how is the hospital gonna look?
Yeah, you start like,
And
yeah. Like, what is
yeah,
Pyramid
and
Head
if you
gonna
play,
be like?
yeah, and if you play like a new game, you're just like, I wonder what's ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Well, like, okay, like, for Silent Hill, for example, are you excited for the new Silent Hill game they're going to make? Because didn't they announce, like, a new one?
Yeah, they have two. They have Silent Hill F. Like, they have, like,
And, like, the flower
author
one, right?
of this. Yeah, and the author of the story. I read that he is very good, especially for horror stories. So I'm looking forward to it. And then there's also Silent Hill Townfall. Whatever that's gonna be.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna look forward to them. But that's also the same. If they are disappointing,
Yeah. And
then we have like, and we already got, apart from the Silent Hill 2 remake, we got two other Silent Hill games, completely new. Like, have you like Silent Hill the short message was or isn't PS exclusive? Like, I don't have a PlayStation 5, so I can't play it. But that wasn't great as far as I'm aware.
Oh, it's already out?
Like, I think decent. Yeah, it's like 1 or 2 hours just. Like, I don't know, like there were leaks some years ago with some, was that? Or was it that? Like, I'm not sure. But yeah, that was like, I think overall like alright.
Mm.
Then have you heard of Silent Hill Ascension?
No, wait. Is that the movie they're making? Didn't they say they're making another Silent Hill movie too?
Yeah, that's gonna come out as well. No, Silent Hill Ascension was like a interactive TV series. It was about a year ago, and that one was terrible.
Yeah.
So we got like one new thing was terrible, the other one was okay. Then the Silent Hill 2 remake was great, and now we are gonna get like 2 new games, and if those 2 are bad as well, then we would have one very good thing, and that would be the remake.
Yeah. And
So,
again, like that
yeah.
like reaffirms my thing where it's just like I have no confidence in the
Yeah,
the
exactly.
modern gaming industry to make a good game. Like you need to you need to copy the homework of the people that were working in the industry 20 years ago in order to make something good.
Like I'm a person like, until the game is out and until I have seen at least some reviews, I'm like I have no expectations. I'm basically like, let's see if it's good or not. But I'm like, I think I'm arguably in the minority, because like many people see like the trailer and then they are already like, that's shit or that's great or
Yeah, no,
something like that.
I'm a firm believer in I don't really talk shit about a game unless I actually played it, or unless like I know I wouldn't like it. Like I don't like first person shooters, so like I don't like get excited for like FPSs. And if like a first person shooter game came out and then people are like, oh man, it's like terrible, blah, 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 or like it's really good, I'm like, I bet it is. I'm probably just not gonna like it. But yeah, I'm usually a firm believer in like I need to play a game first to like really form an opinion on it.
Yeah, me too. Like in general, I'm very open-minded regarding games. Like I'm always like, let's see if it's good.
Yeah.
Like worst case, I'm not gonna play it anymore, and best case, I like it. So.
Yeah, no, and again, I hope like the new Silent Hill games, like the real Silent Hill games that they're making, are good. I think they might have a marketing problem because you just like listed off like 2 things that have already been out, and I think this is the first time I heard of them. Like that's also a problem.
Like in general, the marketing is terrible.
Yeah.
Like even the marketing for the Silent Hill 2 remake. Like I remember they made a combat trailer, like some time ago, and it was terrible. Like the developers actually went ahead and were like, their trailer was terrible and we know it, and that's not how the game looks like. There was like before the game there was also like, the developers of the Silent Hill 2 remake were basically like, we know Konami is shit. Yeah. They do the marketing.
Goddamn.
So,
yeah, no, because like it's really bad when you list it out. There's a TV series of Silent Hill and a PlayStation like 5 exclusive game, and I have no idea that those existed.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like of course, like I know of them because I love Silent Hill games and I'm getting all the news. But they do no marketing for that.
Yeah, no.
Like I think the PS5 exclusive short game had a bit of marketing, but like also not a lot. And like Silent Hill 2 remake, of course, has the advantage of being Silent Hill 2 and being very good. So the marketing is kind of automatic.
Like word of mouth now for like people playing it.
Yeah. Like especially with social media. But if your game isn't that, then you have a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, no. And again, it's like, especially with like Silent Hill, I'm curious to see how those 2 new games, because I know they had one where it was like it almost looked like Japanesey, and there was like flowers
Yeah,
or
that's
something.
F.
F.
Silent Hill F.
Oh, F for flowers. I get it. I get it. All makes
Oh, that's
sense
smart.
now.
I didn't notice that. Smart.
Yeah, there we go. I figured it out. But that
First
one looked,
puzzle solved.
yeah, that one looked interesting. And again, it's just like
Yeah.
Silent Hill is a series that should really have never died. Cause like, yeah, you made like a couple bad games. Like after Team Silent, you kind of like went downhill. But it's just like the idea of Silent Hill is such a good one that it's just like, just keep trying.
I know. Like the problem of Silent Hill is just that almost everything after Team Silent just copies Silent Hill 2.
Yeah.
Of course, that's another story for another video, but that's just a problem these games had. And like, I hope they won't do that again. Because like Silent Hill 1 and 3 are just a cult, and then you have Silent Hill 2, and everyone, even the movies, copy Silent Hill 2.
Yeah. And it's just like, now, are we going to get, like, the games that copy the Silent Hill 2 remake?
Yeah,
Just history repeats itself over and over and over again.
our own personal hell.
Yeah.
But
But,
real quick, like like some time ago, I said that the developers of Silent Hill 2 of the remake have announced a new IP, and they did this like 1 week after the Silent Hill 2 remake released, when everyone was talking about it and about it being good.
yeah.
But just like they take like the marketing and the good reputation they got from that game to promote the new one. So it's just like you kind of like I think marketing in today's world is probably very hard if you don't have anything to work with.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think a lot of it's now spent on, like, paying, like, YouTubers to play your game. I think that's, like, the big strat. Because, like, a lot of games that I see, like, get popular, like, what was that game? Like, Fall Guys, for example. I think that what they did with their marketing was they got, like, big YouTubers that have big followings. They paid them to, like, play their game and make a few videos on it. And that's pretty much like marketing that, because like I have never seen a commercial for Fall Guys, but when that game first came out, I saw a bunch of YouTubers playing it, and then I think a lot of people that watched them started playing the game, and then what you see with that is like it'll be popular for like a month, and then it'll just die off.
Like Fall Guys also had the advantage of releasing while COVID.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't think it would have been that big if it released today.
Yeah.
And it's also not today, so yeah.
Yeah, no. It's just, yeah, I think that, because, like, now that I think about it, it's like, I hardly see video game commercials anymore.
I mean, like, I have
like maybe
ad
like
blockers
a YouTube ad or two,
everywhere.
But...
Well, like, I don't see ads on YouTube, so I don't get them there. I don't watch TV, so I don't get them there.
That's true.
I'm not going outside, so I don't see them there. No. But like most of the marketing, or just like I see the announcements on social media, but I don't see proper marketing anymore. Like I remember like 10 years ago when I was like more of a kid, and when I watched more TV, like there were always like the newest games. Like, of course, not everything. Like, I don't think I ever saw an advertisement for a horror game, but like other games, like I remember seeing advertisements for the Formula 1 games, which I don't see today anymore either.
Yeah, no, I remember when I was a kid, when Kingdom Hearts 2 came out, they would have a TV commercial. And the way the commercial would start out is it would be a black screen, the Square Enix logo would come up, and it would have like a little jingle. And it would be like, it would like play like a little like bing, and every time I heard that when I was like in, like the TV would be on like the other room, I'd hear the bing, and I run into the room just so I could see because then it started playing like the Kingdom Hearts theme song, showed like the cutscenes and the trailer. It's like, oh, but I was always heard that like bing. I was like, oh, just like break through the wall.
I
like
can relate to
Kool-Aid
that.
Man.
Like I think I remember having that with like Splatoon.
Yeah.
And probably, yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, do you remember the Mario Kart 8 advertisements? Like, I don't know if you had them in the US, but like in Germany, there were like commercials of the new items. And then they had like a lab and they were testing the new items and it was pretty cool. And I remember always seeing them and then seeing like the new items. I just got a flashback of that. And it's probably still my favorite advertisement for games because it was so creative.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we don't get that either today, so yeah.
Yeah, just everything now sucks. I think we've established that.
Yeah, everything.
Everything is fucking terrible. Let's just remake the past to try to relive it. Because the future and the present are shit.
Yeah.
Yeah?
How depressing.
Yeah, no. This is a great note to end the episode on, too, by the way.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Bye-bye. Everything sucks.
Yup, everything sucks. Just try to relive your past as a child and never grow up. How about that?
And now please subscribe to the channel if you liked it.
Yeah! If you want to continue to be depressed, hit the subscribe button. But anyway, guys, I think we'll end it here. So thank you so much, Lorp, for stopping by again, making another video.
It was a pleasure.
And yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome. And remember to check Lorp stuff out. It's always linked in the description and the pinned comment. So definitely go check him out. Give him some subscribers. Let's let him hit like 1 million by the end of the week.
Yeah.
Nothing less.
I'm gonna do a foot reveal if we manage that.
There we go. We got a week, guys. But yeah, but anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Lorp, for stopping by. Definitely go check Lorp out. Subscribe to my channel. That also helps me out. And I will see you guys in the next video. All right, see you later. Bye-bye.
See ya.